Yeah, it's lucky, man. I took out my phone and it cut the video. So I guess this is a very brief part two to the previous, right? But you're back here, Jeremiah 50. I'm going to read from verse 22 again. It says, "The sound of a battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon," right? So the Most High is setting them all up, man, right? To bring them into this warfare, right? To go forward with the agenda, so the Most High is going to destroy them, right? So the Most High set them up, right? So I've laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, right? Because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh, right? Because this whole time you think you've been laying the snare for the rest of the world, man, to complete your new world order, right? But it's really, it was a trap for you, right? And the Most High has caught you, right? It says, verse 25, "The Lord have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation," right? So your weapons are his weapons, right? And he's going to use them against you, right? "For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans," right? Again, America, right? "Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left." Right. So this is what we get. This is why we say America is going to be completely destroyed. Right. It's not wishful thinking, or a deep desire that a personal deep desires a personal deep desire of ours. It's just what the Lord has prescribed, and we believe the words in these scriptures, man. We believe His words. So this is why America is going to be destroyed. It's not because I said they're being made weak. It's not because they were weak though, because they're still the strongest nation on the planet. It's not because they were weak. It's not because of this or that. It's because the Most High willed it, man. Because these men are wicked. All right, and this is the judgment against the wicked, against wicked nations, wicked kingdoms. All right. I mean, on the same type of note, though, or another thing to mention on that is like, although this is what happens to kingdoms that go off against the Lord, right? The Lord has never destroyed a kingdom like He's going to destroy you, right? These men go down in battle, and they disappear into obscurity, all right. But you're going to be set on fire and made a monument, right, to all those that would follow after wickedness, as a reminder, right? The Most High has never brought this type of judgment on this type of scale against a nation or a kingdom before, right? And so the only thing closest we've got to that is Sodom and Gomorrah, but and the neighboring cities thereof, right? But it's not on the same scale. This scale is greater. America's huge, right? America's huge, right? And the Most High gonna make sure that every inch of that place is on fire, and and that it can't be inhabited again. All right. So anyway, back here it says verse 27, "Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation." Right, the time of America is up, man. Okay. All right, their time of rulership is coming to an abrupt end soon, right? "The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh our God, our power, the vengeance of His temple." Right, this is about revenge, and we like, wait, what's this revenge about? What's He revenging for? Oh, could it be that you put these people into slavery, on cargo slave ships? Could it be that, I wonder? Could it be all the slaughtering of the Native Americans, the 10 tribes of the Israelites that were there in the Americas? Could it be about that? He stole their land and killed them. Could it be about that? Is that what the Lord is revenging him on for? I wonder. There's a lot of things, right? But the Most High is speaking about His temple here, His people, right? The vengeance of Zion against you people, man. All right. So the voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord of our God, the vengeance of His temple. Call together the archers against Babylon, right? These men with missiles, the modern day archer, right? "All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to the things that she's done, her past, right? The things that she's done, past tense, the things that she's still doing shit now, but all the things that she has done. And America's done a lot. And they want to be guilt-free from it. They want to be so-called innocent from all of that, but they ain't. That's the truth. They ain't. They got to pay. And none of you Americans want to pay, but you got to pay. Most High requires that which is past, right? So you've not gotten away with all the wickedness that you've done. And you guys like, oh, we should just move on now. Let's not talk about that no more. Let's not talk about slavery and all these different types of things. But the Most High, it requires you to pay. And now it's time to pay, right? And this is how it's going to go down, right? It says, recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done, do unto her, for she had been proud, right? She's been proud against the Lord Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. Right? And like I said, that day is ever closer, right? And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in these cities, and it shall devour all round about them. Right? And the Most High is causing them to fumble, to err in every work, as the scriptures say, right? Egypt err in every work, right? They're making them bring about their own demise, man, right? By doing stupid shit. So thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Oh, did I not just mention that? Right? The 10 tribes were already over there when you went there and slaughtered them and stole their land. And then you went and took the Negroes from the west coast of Africa, the tribes of Judah and Benjamin and Levi over there to serve in slavery. So it was all pressed together. Right? So the Lord's mentioned it, right? The children of Israel and the children of Judah, the two kingdoms, right, were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. We're still in your possession right now. We're still working for you right now, building up your kingdom right now. Right? We don't have a nation. We don't have an army. We don't have no sovereignty, no nothing. Right? So although you talk about freeing the slaves, which is really just emancipation, and go look up that word and what that really means. You emancipated the slaves, right? We still work for you with no real choice. Let's be real. Right? We were handicapped. We were released with no power. Right? No power in our hand, which is part of the curses. There's no might in our hands. We can't do nothing about it. So although we were quote unquote released, what could we do? We had no infrastructure, we had no land, we didn't own nothing. So what the fuck was we gonna do? Yeah, go back to the so-called white man and work for him. You just it's voluntary slavery now. That's what it was. It was just voluntary slavery. But it's not really voluntary when you have to, when you need to survive. So like, yeah, it's the same shit. All right. Verse 4, the Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. Right? Their Redeemer, i.e. Israel's Redeemer, not the whole earth, but Israel's Redeemer, because we need saving from these enemies that we're captives under, right? He shall thoroughly plead their cause, and that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon, right? Because the elect are going to be delivered, right? And the Babylonians, i.e. the Edomites, and all the heathen that are in America, because it's not just Edomites in America, it's a melting pot, right? But the whole of America, the land of our captivity, is going to be destroyed. All right. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord Yahweh, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. Right. A sword is upon the liars. Yeah, Trump is the chief liar right now, right? And they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed, right? That's why you're getting murked up, right? And although you're not suffering like major casualties right now, there's time for that. Okay, because World War III is it's gonna be fought in many different places, right? Many theaters of war, but the major place is in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and when that time does come, boots are going to be on the ground. Your men are going to be getting murked off, right? The slain of the Lord shall be many, right? So that time's going to come. It says, a sword is upon their horses and upon their chariots and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. Like I just mentioned that melting pot, right? And they shall become as women, A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. Right? Everything's gonna pass away from America, man. It's gonna be burnt, taken. Right? A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up, for it is the land of graven images. I mentioned that earlier. America's full of idols and witchcraft, man. Right? You're not a righteous nation. Not in any stretch of the imagination. Right? You're like the polar opposite of being a righteous nation. Right? Which is what the funny thing is, because you've worked so hard in portraying yourself to be a righteous people, but you are the most wickedest that's ever existed. You know? And the Most High is going to make sure that everyone else knows that. Right? It ain't just going to be a few of us that know that America is wicked. The Most High is going to make the whole world know that America was foul. It was disgusting. Right? For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there. Right? It's not going to be a place for humans no more after everything's settled. Right? And the owls shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. As God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Right? So the beginning with Russia from the north, right, there's going to be many people with him, as is described in Ezekiel 38. Right? But it's not only those allies that I mentioned in Ezekiel 38, it's going to be your friends, your allies, the UK, Germany, Norway, Sweden, these man, like Canada. You know what I mean? Direct neighbors. They're gonna move against you, man, because the Most High is gonna put the spirit on them to move against you. All right, so the Most High is raising up from all the coasts of the earth. Right? And it's evident, you can see it happening. You could be in denial all you want, man, but you can see this is what's happening. This is what's being set up, man. All right. Verse 42, they shall hold the bow and the lance, i.e. the modern day arrows, okay, the missiles, right, the ICBMs, all of this, right? They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy, right? Because the Spirit of the Lord is going to be upon them, right? To do this evil, right? Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. The king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands wax feeble. So when I think they're starting to understand, right? That they're in a compromised position right now because of the decision that they've made to go into Iran, or try to do something in Iran, right? They're in a compromised state, right? And I think I also remember reading how China has surrounded Taiwan, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because America's not in a position right now to really defend Taiwan. You know, they're not in a good position, man, because they're stuck with dealing with that shit in the Middle East right now. And so the enemies see opportunity in this weakness that you've presented to everybody, in this situation you've created, right? They can smell blood. All right, they can smell blood, and I think it's beginning to creep in and being understood among you know, your generals and shit. Like you know, we're not in a good position right now. Yeah, and that's why you might have to call upon NATO to kind of help out with the Strait of Hormuz, man, because you're not in a great position. Let's just be real about it, right? And you're trying to pass it off like nothing's going wrong. All right, but these nations smell blood, man. They're smelling blood right now. All right, and this might be the best opportunity for them to take you out. Right, so that's what's being set up. That's what the Lord is setting up, right? So, the king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold on him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. Right, that's the state you're going to be left in, man. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon. Right? So when we speak, we're speaking the counsel of the Lord. We're telling you openly what the counsel of the Lord is. And it's not good for America. It's not looking good, bruv. All right? And his purposes that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And I say it all starts with these small hats, man, and you know what they made America do, or bring, you know, dragging them around in their conflicts. You know, being in the ears 24/7, say you got to do this and got to do that. You know, because remember, these elites are small hats. At the top, they're small hats, man, and so they're always demanding things, telling them people what to do. Right. So at an elite level, at a national level, these men are kind of running the show in a way, but they're like the smallest group of them, of these Edomites. Right? But all this is because of them. You know? So surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right? So you're going to be, the land of Israel is going to be put on fire too. Okay, until we come there to clean it up. Right? So at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. Right? Because America is going to go out in a big way. Like I said, the world has never witnessed such a destruction, and the earth is never going to felt such a thing, right? Because you know, I was watching another YouTube video on these, not specific on the nukes, but just warfare in general. Tyson DeGrasse, the science dude, and you know the amount of energy these missiles have, these nukes have, is astonishing. Right, the whole metrics, how you measure the blast of these weapons, right? We measure it in kilotons and megatons, right? Based on how many tons of dynamite, of TNT, you know, its equivalent is, right? So a kiloton's a thousand tons, 1,000 tons of dynamite, 1,000 tons of TNT. Like that would be 1 kiloton, right? We're working with megatons, right? And not just in the single numbers, tens of megatons and all that shit, all right? So like 1,000,000 tons of fucking TNT, bro. It's just it sounds like overkill, bro, and it is. We all know the nukes is just overkill. It's mad, but this is what the Lord is gonna release in the land of America, man. And this place is gonna fucking shake it says the earth is gonna roll to and fro like a drunkard. All right, it's gonna be, yeah. You wouldn't have experienced such a thing before. Let's just say that, innit? And considering it's not happening where you are, like it could be happening across the, you know, outside the earth, and you're still gonna feel it. That's how much energy is gonna be, you know, put into the earth when these missiles explode. You know, so yeah, it's gonna be crazy, right? And the time's nearing, man, right? So again, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among nations, man, because they're gonna be fucking afraid. They're gonna be shocked. You know, you talk about shock and awe. The whole world's gonna be shocked. You know, and people are gonna be crying because they know something terrible just fucking happened, man. Something terrible, man. Bear man died. Bear man died. Right? I can't remember the population of America, man, but Bear man's gonna die. Right? When Russia and the UK, you know, all these mans with nuclear weapons, even if they're not nuclear, bro, you know what I mean? That, you know, these missiles are still mighty, right? And they're just gonna shoot at America, man, and that's it. No more America. All right. So this is like, you know, themselves putting the nail in their own coffin by doing what they're doing in the pursuit of wickedness, in the pursuit of unrighteousness, man. This is where it's going to lead them. Right. So it's no surprise right now that these allied nations, they don't want nothing to do with America right now, man, because they can kind of see it. This isn't going to end well, you know, and it won't. But for none of them, truthfully. All right. But I'm gonna end it there. Lord, this has been edifying. And so I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Until next time, I say shalom.